Hey guys, YouTube isn't really pushing my videos right now. A like and any comment, even just a, would seriously help. Thank you. Jenna first met Marcus on a breezy April afternoon at a tucked-away coffee shop she'd only wandered into because her professor postponed their thesis meeting. She was a senior, half running on caffeine and academic fumes. Marcus, 10 years older, had just landed a higher-paying job across town and was still learning the neighborhood. Dressed in a tailored navy suit that practically whispered, "I've got this." He paused by Jenna's table, offered a warm smile and asked, "Mind if I sit here? Place is packed, and honestly, I could use some decent company." Jenna blinked in surprise. Men like him, polished, composed, didn't usually notice girls still eating off-campus meal plans. She moved her laptop aside and said, "Sure. Knock yourself out." That first conversation bounced between the ridiculous and the personal. Her half-finished novel draft, his new project management role, and their mutual disdain for the cafe's overpriced pastries. When Marcus finally glanced at his watch, he realized he'd missed his entire lunch window. Before leaving, he asked for her number. She scribbled it on the back of his receipt in purple ink. By the end of that same week, they'd spent more hours on FaceTime than she had studying. Felt easy, natural, dangerous in a butterflies and fireworks way. 6 months later, they were sharing rent in a sunny one-bedroom. 3 months after that, they stood in front of a county clerk, said, "I do," and sealed it with matching grins and a quiet kiss. Just like that, Jenna swapped second-hand dorm furniture for Marcus's elegant condo. Leather couches, road trip photos in minimalist frames, and a river view she'd only ever seen in Pinterest boards. "You don't have to rush into a job," Marcus had told her that first night over Thai takeout. "Finish your novel. I've got us covered." So she did. Or tried. That breather from school stretched into months, then years. Marcus never complained. He liked coming home to a wife humming along to lo-fi playlists, the smell of pasta simmering. Even if the novel remained half-finished most afternoons, untouched. One Tuesday night over baked ziti, Jenna mentioned Faith's birthday dinner that coming Friday. Faith was her ride or die from day one of college. They'd survived impossible professors, bad boyfriends, and dorm room disasters together. Marcus nodded. He was used to Jenna going out with her friends. He planned his own poker night with colleagues. Friday arrived. Jenna slipped into the emerald green dress Marcus loved, kissed him goodbye, and called an Uber. The restaurant buzzed with laughter, confetti scattered across the table, and pitchers of sangria sweating in the warm air. Faith wore a tiara that read "Birthday Queen" in gold glitter. Midway through the evening, the door swung open, and in walked Noah and Caleb Dawson, brothers, college legends. Noah was all charm and smirks. Caleb the more serious one with quiet eyes. Back then, Jenna and Faith had practically mapped out the classroom seating chart to be near them. When they spotted the girls, they lit up like they'd found treasure. Minutes later, they were pulling chairs over, ordering more drinks, and diving into the kind of memory-laced conversation that made time irrelevant. By 11 p.m., the married and taken crowd had left. Only Jenna, Faith, and the Dawson brothers remained, surrounded by sticky napkins and empty queso bowls. Faith, clearly tipsy and glowing with old crush energy, leaned in and stage whispered, "After party at my place." Jenna hesitated. "Guys, I'm married." Faith pouted. "Come on. Just a little fun. No pressure." They piled into a rideshare. Somewhere between the dim back seat and Faith's vanilla-scented apartment, Noah rested a hand lightly on Jenna's knee. Felt electric. Familiar. Well, but Jenna didn't stop it. Faith's apartment was cozy chaos. Vodka over ice, throwback playlists, loud laughter. Around 1 a.m., Faith flopped beside Jenna on the couch and murmured, "Okay, don't freak. Caleb had this wild idea. He wants a three-way. Me and him." But then I thought, wait, you had that massive crush on Noah, right? Jenna blinked. "You're not serious." Faith giggled. "Live a little. Birthday memories." Across the room, Noah was watching her like she was the only thing in focus. The vodka was warm in her bloodstream. The old college fantasy danced in her head. She pictured Marcus, dependable, kind, and predictable. Someone who'd never suggest anything even close to this. She took a breath. "All right," she said, barely above a whisper. What followed was hands, mouths, tangled clothes, rushed breath, and one irreversible decision. By 3 a.m., Jenna was in the shower, scrubbing away sweat and silence. She slipped back into the emerald dress, called a ride, and climbed under the covers just minutes before Marcus got home from poker night. He kissed her temple and whispered, "Sleep well." He didn't notice the unfamiliar citrus cologne lingering in her hair. 30 quiet days passed. Then Marcus suggested a weekend at a lakeside cabin with his friends. Jenna, nervous around his finance world crowd, agreed on one condition. Could Faith come too? He said yes. Saturday night, red solo cups in hand. Someone suggested never have I ever. It started innocently enough. Silly questions, drunken giggles. Then Faith, cheeks red and riding a tequila high, blurted, "Never have I ever had a threesome, with 2 brothers." She laughed and drank. Silence. Then gasp. Then questions. Marcus went still. Jenna's face drained of color. Faith, oblivious or emboldened, grinned wide. "It was my birthday. You remember Noah and Caleb, right? From college. Total whirlwind. But unforgettable." Marcus said nothing. But Jenna knew. Later, while the others toasted marshmallows, Marcus found Faith on the deck. His voice was low. That birthday story. Was Jenna there?" Faith, still tipsy and unaware, nodded. "Yeah. You didn't know." Marcus left the cabin 10 minutes later. Alone. By the time Jenna got home, her belongings were packed into neat cardboard boxes. A note on the counter read, "Don't call. The papers are coming." She begged. She wept. She offered versions of the truth that wilted under his silence. The divorce was fast, clean, brutal. She moved in with Faith, her only option left. But the worst hadn't even started. Noah and Caleb, it turned out, couldn't keep secrets. Soon the story spilled into alumni chats. Random guys began DMing Jenna, propositioning her like she was an open invitation. One message simply read, "Heard you're into brothers. You free Friday." She changed her number. But the stain remained. Without Marcus's support, she had to face the job market, armed with a shiny degree and no real experience. She landed a cashier job at a grocery store. Hour shifts, snapping customers, sore feet. Nights she couldn't even cry because she was too tired. One night, slumped on Faith's futon, mascara smudged and heart numb, she whispered to no one. All I had to do was say no. No to the ride. No to the drink. No to the fantasy that wrecked her reality. But life doesn't do reruns. There's no rewind button. Only regret that sticks like smoke in every thread of what once was. If you watched this far, thank you. Please consider liking and commenting, it helps more than you know.